Hi, this is Susan. I wanted to show you something for Easter. I thought maybe we'd get it done for Valentine's, but that time is going real fast, so I wanted to do this for Easter. And you can see it's this little table. If you haven't ever done one, these are wonderful for like boutiques or for displaying your little minis that you make for a holiday. They're great for a Christmas room box. A number of things. And this, you might have seen this already, is out of my 12-month display of minis. And I hope to make that with y'all if you are interested. Just let me know if you're interested. So this is made, this particular one, I made like 2 or 3 years ago. And I started with the little fabric. I had found this fabric that has little bunnies on it. Isn't that adorable? So it was like, okay, I got to do something with that. And then I had this fabric and I had this quilted look, and I'd never used it because it was just odd, just one of those things that you like, but you don't know what to do with it. And so it all came together. So this is some kind of cylinder with a metal. So I'm gonna show you. I was gonna make it for Valentine's, but I'm just gonna show you the process because. Oh, and then. If you recognize these, I just realized, see this, these were like $2 or something at Michael's a long time ago. And we all bought them. And it looks so cute with this ladder chair. But I need a second one of these. So if anybody knows, like they see one, please message me. Because see, it's got the little same design. So please message me. I just need one. If you see it. Doesn't matter if the fabric matches, just as long as that's got that little ladder back look. But anyway, I'm putting this all in a room box. So let's get started on this. And there's a few different things you can use to make this. It's amazing to me. This is trash to treasure. It's just totally trash to treasure. Okay, you can use like a plastic container like this. The important thing is to make it come down at an angle somewhat. Now you'd need to cut this right around in here. And there's also this brand called Daisy Sour Cream. If you have it in your area, it has a smaller version of this that's taller and smaller around and angled down. And that would be perfect. I'm not going to the store to do this video. So look for that one. It's Daisy brand. They may be a knockoff, but now what I'm showing you here is I've used different things to make these different ones. This one is one can, and you just layer the cardboard. And that's how I did this one. This one I didn't ever use at Christmas. I just pretty much display stuff on it. And it's so pretty. You put a little doily on it. I think y'all might have seen this, where I just displayed things. Isn't that sweet? With a little, real thin doily. And so, this one, with the check, is just layers of cardboard on top of a can. And then you go around the can, like this one I just set up this evening. You go around and you put the cardboard down at the lower area, cover it with masking tape, try to build out so you get a little bit of an angle, like I was saying, that angle that you see on this bigger. I mean, you could use this if you had the room for it, but see how it's got the angle to it? You're trying to build out the angle. Just looks a little better. If you don't build it out too much, that's okay too. I built it out, and then I started building it out, and then I just put masking tape over it. So you can see there's a slight angle. And that's okay. I mean, if you start layering the way this is layered, this one, I didn't build out at all. Because I was layering all these different layers onto it that you wouldn't really notice. So anyway, this was 2 cans of like chicken cans. See, there's a can, and I had to put pieces underneath to level it because of this rim. So this was 2 small chicken cans, or tuna, or just small. So see, we're looking for this you need to measure your chairs you're going to use with this and see how high it needs to be. And so I'm showing you a chair with it. So that's what you're starting with, how tall you want it. And then that'll help you go around looking for what you can either cut down the plastic or build up with cardboard this way. And this is the glue you want to use, E6000. Make sure you have ventilation. Make positive sure you have the fan going, you have doors open, windows, something. Don't do this when it's freezing cold and you're trapped in the room with this smell. It will make you pass out. It's really strong and it's not good for you. And but that holds the best. I tried using my tacky glue that's really gummy. The Fabri-Tac, and it just came loose. So that didn't work. And the craft glues, if it's really gummy, maybe, but I don't think it will. But you can also tape everything with masking tape. If you don't want to use the E6000, then just use masking tape all around. So then you have the first layer. Let me show you how. Once we've got this set up, I didn't want to open that glue in here after I got that whiff of that other glue. So you're going to measure like the center point, or you can go all the way across, but I usually just double. I measure the center point down, and then I add here's my flexible one. So measure the center point, say that's about the center, and go down, and then add just a ½ an inch or more, whatever you're comfortable with. You can see right here, I've got just under like 3/8 to a ½ inch. So 3/8 is a good hem. I'd say 3/8. If you have a sewing machine available to you, this is really smart to put the hem stitch. This is where you'll fold, and it makes it easier to fold and glue it and to keep it perfectly, uniform round. This really does. See how well it's going along that line of stitching? You could hand stitch this. It's worth the trouble, because when I made this one, because it's going to be pulling in different directions, depending on the fabric, as much as how loose it is in its weave. This one ended up being wider than it was. It ended up going longer in one direction than the other, and so I hadn't done that stitch, and I just really recommend that stitch. And then the next thing you're gonna, once you get go ahead and glue this in. Go around gently, turning it, pink it. If you need to take out fabric, pink it. But usually it goes around just fine if you have that stitch. And then glue that, let that sit for a minute. You can use your Fabri-Tac, or the Fabri-Tac sits on the fabric a little better than the Fabric Fusion, which usually soaks in more, and so you have to wait for it to set a little bit longer before you start gluing it in place. You don't want to mess with something that you've glued until it's had time to set and get drier, because then you end up taking your hem back out, messing with it, and especially when we go to glue it. So maybe you need to wait overnight, depending on what you use. So then you put your glue all up in here, and you don't really need it down the sides. You want this to be loose. So really it's more important up here. And you might not want to put so much up here, because really you're gluing down here. So it's not going to go anywhere if you don't even want to put it up here, because it's not going to go anywhere. See, this is all going to be glued down at the bottom. So if it's glued all the way around, it's not going anywhere. So then you take whatever bobby pins you have. These are the small bobby pins. And you start you go one side, okay, you go one side, the other side, that side, this side. So you quadrant it off. Then you go into those quadrants and you do this side and this side. So actually we would be doing this way and this way and this way first. This might be a little further over. Okay, so we would do that first, the 4 sides. Then we go in and do the next sides in between those sides. So you're just going back and forth, and that's the best way to make sure that your ruffles are equally spaced. And then, and you've got your glue there, so they'll tack onto your glue leave the pins in place overnight. And don't mess with it, you know, get it all straight. You know, keep working it, get it all straight, and then leave those pins in overnight. And you'll wake up to a wonderful little table that looks like this. You know, has all of its wonderful ruffles. And then you can decide, you know, do you want to do your next layer? And of course that's just turned under and glued because it's a square. This is round, so it's going to be a square. And this is just a off-centered square and a square. And then you can take like some little tiny trim, whatever littlest trim you can find, and put that on the top layer. And it's really sweet with all the layers. If you go to my Christmas store, the very first video I put on, there's one of these tables in the Christmas store, and they're just so great for displaying. Just, you know, this would be great for Valentine's if you want to still just do it for Valentine's. Put your Valentine heart on it, and any romantic sweet roses or anything. This one I'm doing, you know, for Easter. Now, I told you that I showed you in my ladies' dressing room. It's a boudoir. I showed you this at the very end. I showed you these wonderful little pieces I got from Hobby Lobby. And I said I'm going to do something special with them. I didn't know I'd already done it. Look at this. They match. Look at that. Doesn't that match? It's all the pastels, and these came from Hobby Lobby. I don't know if they have little rings on them like they were meant to be earrings or something. But how perfect. If you want to do that for Easter, how perfect. And then put a little Easter basket. Anything you want to do. I just think it's adorable. I want to do something with them, so now I've got that. And let me show you this. I'll just give you a peek because we're going to do this one. Now, you saw this at Christmas, but it's a long way off for Christmas, so we just might as well do it for Easter. What do you think? Isn't that pretty? And that's just so different from Christmas. The colors, the idea works out the same. You could make it egg shape if you want it. You can make it heart shape for Valentine's. And you could put some little egg shapes if you made them out of clay. But isn't that sweet? So if y'all want to do that, let me know. We'll do this. I'll show you the process. Then you can do it for any holiday, for Christmas, whatever you want to do it for. So anyway, that's the make. That I can't think of anything else to tell you about it. It just turns out so cute from trash. Okay? So please like, subscribe, and share this with anybody and young people. I think young people would appreciate doing this, and it's not too hard for them. And if you just guide them through it. So I think they'd like that. Little children might like it, and it's not an expensive thing to put in their dollhouse. So thank you very much, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.